Welcome back to another episode of Even the Sparrow. I am so grateful to have you here in 2025. It's so hard to believe that is officially the year that we are in, but here we are. But friend, thank you so much for coming to spend a little bit of your new year with me here on Even the Sparrow. If you are new here or new to me at all, my name is Nicole. I am a non-diet, food freedom registered dietitian, a body image coach, and a follower of Jesus. And I have combined all of those passions into one thing here on Even the Sparrow and inside of my business, Overflow Nutrition, where I help women heal their relationship with food and make peace with their bodies from a faith-based perspective, because Jesus is such a part of that. And I always want to take him with me in everything that I do. But today is, as usual, a special episode every time. It is a special episode because we are talking about New Year's resolutions, and I want this episode to be a nice bite-sized non-diet guide to your nutrition New Year's resolutions. We are seeing so many things, I'm sure, all on social media. Every new year, it's about how to eat healthy and exercise and get into these health habits. And it all kind of fits in the same realm of kind of trying to sculpt your body and trying to appear a certain way. That's not what we're doing here. We are actually going to talk about good non-diet nutrition, baby step goals, and thoughts to take for this new year. So what do I mean by non-diet? What do I mean by having a non-diet guide to nutrition, New Year's resolutions, or goals? Well, typically what we're seeing all over social media right now, all over the internet, is how to lose 10 pounds in X amount of time, how to eat healthy, or how to cleanse your body. These foods are going to make you super healthy in 2025, and these are not. And it's just so overwhelming, so confusing, and so not the way that we should be approaching this, or that I feel that is most helpful to approach it. So by doing a non-diet approach to nutrition, we are taking out the strict diet pattern, and we are taking out the pressure of needing our body to look a certain way as we approach our health. So that is non-diet for you. So without further ado, I've got 3 steps that you are going to take to form some really awesome non-diet nutrition goals for 2025. And this is definitely an episode where you're going to want to take notes. So either get out your notes app, get out a cute little journal moment with some pens and highlighters. You're going to want to do that. So step 1, you're going to let go of what you think in your head your most nourished or healthy self looks like physically, your physical appearance. You are going to detach your healthiest you from a physical look or appearance of your body. So you're going to detach your idea of your healthiest version of you equaling a certain body weight or shape. Why do we want to do this? This is so key, okay? When we equate our healthiest self to a particular outward appearance, we can become disconnected from what it actually takes or what it actually means to be our healthiest self. Because what happens when we kind of either consciously or subconsciously have this goal of, well, I hope that I'll lose X amount of weight in the meantime, or I want my body to look this way by doing these health goals. What we are doing is, instead of making the feeling your best, feeling your healthiest the goal, we start to make our physical appearance the goal. And I know that for a lot of us, it can start out really innocently, right? Like we want to quote unquote get healthy, and it's so inspiring to make certain changes to your lifestyle, and you're feeling really excited to do it. But slowly and surely it starts snowballing into, oh, but my body isn't changing, and no, it's not working. No matter what I'm doing for my health, it doesn't seem to look like it's working. Health doesn't really have an outward appearance. So we don't want to become discouraged in the values and in the health habits that we are forming just because our bodies are not changing, or just because our bodies are not changing in the way that maybe we hope. Detaching that picture of health from what this ideal body is supposed to look like, it actually gives you freedom to feel your best without feeling guilty that you're doing it wrong. So it's really, really important to actually detach the two things. Your health does not equal a certain body type, and that's what's going to get you to your healthiest version of you. So write that down, because the truth is that your healthiest self, it does not have a particular outward appearance. In fact, your healthiest self in one season of life is most certainly going to look different from your healthiest self in a different season of life. And that is the way that God created it. That is a beautiful thing about living on earth, is that we go through different seasons of life and our bodies carry us through that. And God created your body to be very resilient. And so it's going to outwardly change through the different seasons of your life in ways that you cannot avoid. And so make peace with that. Make peace with your body's changes throughout the different seasons of your life. And know that your health goals, they don't have to be centered around changing that outward appearance. And that's what's going to give you that actual long-term health and feeling your best. So with that being said, let's roll into step 2. Step 2 is more of an action item. The first one was a mindset action item. Step 2 is a physical action item. So step 2, you're going to evaluate your current nutrition habits. I have 3 dietitian-approved questions that I want you to ask yourself to evaluate your current nutrition habits and habits around food. So you're going to want to write out these 3 questions as I list them and answer them in your mind or on pen and paper or whatever, so you can start to form goals around these questions. So question number 1, am I eating consistently throughout the day? So typically this is going to look like eating every 3 to 4, maybe 5 hours. So you are not going super large gaps without refueling your body. That's what eating consistently looks like. Question number 2, am I eating enough throughout the day? Now, enough definitely looks different for every single person. So without knowing you in your particular situation, I cannot give a specific benchmark for what this exactly has to look like. But in general, a very general recommendation I like to make is to be eating at least 3 meals with snacks throughout the day to be considered enough for an adult human. Usually that's what we are going to need and what most people feel best doing. And so that is kind of a general benchmark to aim for. So just kind of be real with yourself. Am I eating enough throughout the day? Question number 3, am I eating variety throughout the week? So am I eating different types of foods? Or are certain foods off limits for me? Are certain food groups off limits for me? Am I trying to eat nutrition variety, or am I stuck eating the same things every day? Or am I stuck only eating certain types of foods? Enjoying variety is a key to nutrition that a lot of people miss because we focus way too much on cutting out foods and cutting out nutrients and cutting out certain things. But the key to good nutrition is variety. Answer those 3 questions. And when working through these questions, I actually want you to set goals around them in order. So what I mean by that is you want to start with question 1, consistency. If you're not eating consistently, start there before you start adding food or before you start adding diet variety. So you want to start eating consistently first. Once you've mastered that, you're going to add in goals to meet question number 2. So am I eating enough throughout the day? Then you're going to be adding in eating a certain amount of meals and snacks. And then once you've mastered that, you're going to start working on your diet variety. So you're going to start adding in foods that maybe you cut out or being intentional to try different foods. So that's the order that you're going to do it in. And that's going to be a process. And so I recommend starting with 1 goal from step 2. So if you need to start with consistency, just start with that. Build up from there. So step 3 in your non-diet guide to nutrition goals for 2025 is going to be evaluate your current relationship with food. Why did I put this step in here? Because I truly believe as a dietitian and all the work that I've done, all the clients that I've worked with, and including myself, is that the key to long-term good nutrition is a healthy relationship with the food that you are eating. A poor relationship with food, you guys, it creates so much disconnection from your God-given intuition and cues with food and how you're supposed to eat. It is actually a huge act of trusting the Lord and surrender to the Lord when you learn to tune into and trust your God-given cues, because He built those into your body. He built your hunger and fullness in. And so learning to actually lean into that more and trust it a little bit more is actually a huge act of faith and trusting in God. And I'm so proud of you for maybe wanting to try and do that some more this year. So here are 3 questions that I want you to write down and ask yourself to start evaluating your current relationship with food. Now, of course, these 3 questions, it's not an exhaustive list of questions that you could ask yourself to accurately evaluate your relationship with food, but I think that these 3 are a good place to start. So question 1, do I ever find myself feeling guilty, regretful, and or anxious before, during, or after eating a certain type or amount of food? I know that was a lot, so pause and rewind if you need to. But do any of those feelings come up for you around food or as you're engaging with food? Number 2, do I have a list of good and bad foods that are either on or off limits to me? So are there some foods that you don't let yourself keep in the house for whatever reason? Are there certain foods that you would never order when you're ordering out? Things like that. And number 3, do I ever feel the need to make up for something I ate? So for example, skipping a meal or exercising to compensate for what you ate earlier, or do I ever feel the need to earn my food? So if any of those 3 questions resonate with you, or you answered yes to any of the above questions that we just talked about, this might be a sign that it would be helpful to set some goals towards having a better relationship with food. And this can be a really confusing process to get started with. So I am going to see if I can link my free ebook below, 4 Days to Making Peace with Food and the Body That God Gave You. That is what my ebook is called. And it's kind of more of an interactive mini coaching experience. And so that will give you a good place to really start on this step, your relationship with food and really healing that, and your body as well, your relationship with your body and body image for free. So I'm going to link that hopefully in the notes here in the episode. And if I can't, well, come find me on Instagram and reach out to me letting me know that you want to get hands on my ebook. It is also in the link in my Instagram bio. So there is a way to get this thing, but setting some goals towards having a healthier relationship with food is going to set you up for long-term success with your health and your nutrition. I promise you, it is not the unhealthy thing to do. I promise that having a good relationship with food, you will feel the healthiest you've ever felt. So those are my 3 steps to forming non-diet nutrition goals for this year. And I just want to throw in a bonus tip in there for you because as a Christian, I just cannot go without saying there is so much power in community in this process, especially when you're doing anything nutrition, health related. It can feel really overwhelming and just a lot. Find a group of Christian women who maybe are thinking that they want to do different goals this year, that maybe they want to take a more non-diet perspective on their nutrition goals for this year. Maybe they're done going on and off of diets, or they're done fighting with their bodies to try and lose weight, and they're actually ready to feel better with food. Be in community with like-minded women and people that can speak life over these goals. And if you don't have a safe place for that, I want you to join me. Not only keep tuning into this podcast, but I want you to join me on my Instagram at overflow.nutrition.dietitian, where I show up more frequently. And I hope that you feel like you have somebody cheering you on, because I genuinely am cheering you on in this journey. But have community, be in community with the Lord as much as possible, and invite Him into this New Year's resolution goal journey as well. That is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you all next time on Even the Sparrow.